Thank you for joining us here today. You will receive a comprehensive release with some of the more pertinent details. The reason for us asking you here today is simply to announce that just after 5 yesterday evening, our emergency task unit with members of our intelligence section executed a Controlled Drugs and Substances Act search warrant in the 200 block of Leith Street. As a result of the execution of that warrant, there are 6 people currently before the courts for a variety of drug and weapons offenses, and the seizures that you see before you totaling over 1 kilogram of alleged crack cocaine, just over 300 grams of powder cocaine, and over 300 grams of what we allege is fentanyl, along with, of course, a loaded prohibitive firearm, a significant quantity of Canadian currency. I will only say this is an ongoing and active investigation. It is somewhat long-standing, so there are a variety of investigative techniques employed and a significant amount of work that goes into drafting and being granted a warrant for execution. The use of the emergency task unit was due to information gathered related to the potential for a firearm, which, as we see, is borne out. Well, there are, of the accused before the courts, there are 2 suspects from Quebec as well as 2 from the Greater Toronto area. While certainly the general theme of out-of-town individuals being arrested for controlled substances offenses and weapons offenses is not new, I do understand that the vast majority of what we've been reporting has been Greater Toronto area accused. Certainly, we have seen accused from Quebec in the past, but you are correct in that the recent trend has been Greater Toronto area accused.
Were there any issues during the arrest?
The warrant was executed safely. All parties were taken into custody without incident.
And approximately the street value of the drugs?
The street value of the drugs in combination with the currency, we estimate to be close to or over $500,000. Well, I say it's significant from a community safety standpoint because this is a significant amount of controlled substances, particularly the fentanyl, which, as we know, has done extensive harm in the community, along with cocaine, of course. So it is significant for those purposes. The sad fact is that the amounts of drugs that we're seeing are making seizures of this magnitude somewhat less rare than they once were. So there's a double-edged sword, if you will, of significance in that these amounts are no longer as staggering as they once were. However, this is still a very significant seizure, and this is a tremendous amount of harm, potential harm, I'll say, that's been taken off the streets. Yes, you're correct. And actually, I'll go one step further and take exception to the term tasked. Units from all branches of the service responded to the shooting incident in and of their own volition, immediately hearing what was going on before being paged, before being assigned, immediately headed to the area to respond to that situation. Now, that is a positive in terms of the community response, or the response that the community can expect to a situation such as what amounts to a gunfight in broad daylight and in public. However, what that has as an impact is it puts on hold the assigned tasks and the ongoing investigations that these units are conducting. Now, in this case, we're fortunate in that the investigation that led to this seizure was able to resume. This seizure, this search warrant, had no connection whatsoever to the that we're aware of, to the individuals or to the interactions that led to the shooting. So this is its own investigation, its own entity. So it's only through the diligence of the officers involved that they're able to drop everything, respond to an emergency in progress, and then resume the very next day an ongoing investigation and have a positive result such as this. I would say within the last 3 years, we've seen an increase, certainly in handguns. It's now become commonplace is a worthwhile term. It's now almost more common than not that we're encountering handguns in the possession of people arrested in connection to the illicit drug trade. Certainly that is a matter of concern to the community and to the police. This is dangerous potential. This was a loaded firearm in the possession of people who are here for criminal purpose. And that is something that should be of grave concern to everyone.